Make sure you guys take care of Ariel and Miguel behind the bar. Doing very well. Tonight's drink of the night is Guinness, Richie. See, so when you get up stage, make sure you buy a Guinness tonight.
All right.
Richie, see.
Ariel, can I? ¿Puede estarme un Guinness, El Plizo? Thank you. Give it up for Don and John. Oh. Getting the picking on. No. Baby's got tracks. Kaboom. Damn, I should have prepared something. I didn't know how long you were going to keep playing. I enjoyed the music. I have to go with the classic. So much anti-Semitism. People think that's why I have this haircut. It's just convenient. I know I look like a lot of famous people. Like Drew Carey after chemo, Powder without the tan, Howie Mandel without the career, or an out of work house arrest Mr. Clean. Some people think I look like a serial killer, but I just play one on television. Do you remember America's Most Wanted? I hated that show, especially when they got my name right. Kaboom. I was supposed to be on Dateline. Turns out they hate it when you show up a day early. Turns out, kaboom. Turns out Chris Hansen is the worst game show host ever. It's nothing like Love Good. No, Chris, I have some questions for you. I was supposed to meet somebody. What happened to that 40-year-old pretending to be 16? I have needs too. Won't be abused just for ratings. But I should have learned from the dating apps anyway. You know, the girls never look like your picture. You think you're going to meet a really hot 14-year-old cheerleader? Thank you, Megan. Is that I know, 16. She should be able to drive herself home. Kaboom. No, I wouldn't. Or Uber herself. Well, who's going to pay for the Uber? Then it gets on the parents' credit card, that somebody calls into their question. And then they wonder how I'm getting all these Uber rides with all these people. Where did she go and what happened to her? I'm not her keeper forever. Besides that, I wouldn't give Uber let Uber skim off my deal. Uber's the worst job in the world. No, I'm sorry. Uber's the best job in the world if you hate people. Because your passengers will do nothing to change your mind. Kaboom. It doesn't matter what they'll always complain. They'll always complain. Doesn't matter if you give them let them choose the music, give them gum, give them water, give them your kidney. It doesn't matter. There's always something wrong. Those used to say, oh, he's creepy. No kidding. You ask a complete stranger to come pick you up at midnight. When was this not creepy? You asked me to wait outside your apartment at 1:30 a.m. Now, granted, I would have done it for free, but this time it was your idea. If this was really creepy, you wouldn't remember any of it. Kaboom. This is what I get for keeping you, This is what I get for leaving you out of the trunk. Or people would complain that I was barefoot. I spent $50 cleaning my car. It's a beautiful day. You don't have to look at my feet. It's $5 a ride, $10 a ride. For that kind of money, you don't get shoes. I don't get shoes. Nobody gets shoes. It's reverse Oprah. You don't get shoes, and you don't get shoes, and you don't get shoes. If you want to look at my feet, that's Uber fetish. That's $250 a ride. And you better notice my pedicure, or else the ball gag is not coming out. Kaboom. But did you hear about these Uber drivers? Some of them, they'd assault their passengers, they take them off somewhere. I mean, and I think that's awful. But sometimes I think to myself, well, you know, it wasn't like he was creepy. It wasn't like he wasn't wearing shoes. So it couldn't be that bad, right? Believe it or not, I wasn't always this smooth. I didn't always have this mad game. That's not funny. I used to be kind of awkward. But then I realized you have to be the person you're meant to be. If you're the kind of person who wears shorts and sandals everywhere, all year round, no matter where you are, you have to do that. Because you'll find out when you do that, people are so much nicer when they think you're autistic. Kaboom. Yeah, it used to bother me when people thought they said I had autism. They wondered if I had Asperger's. People mention it now. I don't mind. Just take a deep breath, go outside, memorize a few license plates, and then I'm fine. Kaboom. Actually, I don't have autism yet. We'll have to see what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says. I have to see what the next vaccine does, and if we're allowed to have it. No, I have obsessive compulsive disorder. I have OCD. So when people say, you know, you think these jokes are bad, I've got to go home and say them 3 more times and do the kabooms with my other arm. Kaboom. I was born with obsessive compulsive disorder. But you're more you have a predisposition, you know, depending on who your parents are. And so I found out when I was born, my mother was in labor for 18 hours. It wasn't a difficult birth, but I just kept going back to see if I left anything. Kaboom. I came back again. My umbilical cord was gone. I said, wait a minute. I was still using that. I'm going to need these stem cells when you drop me and pretend it was an accident. At least drop me twice, because you know I like even numbers. Kaboom. Right? Oh, thank you. See, that's why you can't get up on the details sometimes. And I came back again, my placenta was gone. I said that was a collector's item. I don't want to grow up and see this on Storage Wars. I'm really going to be upset. Kaboom. Because hoarding is a kind of OCD, or it's related. I'm a hoarder. So I was on a show called Obsessed because my hoarding was so bad. And I lost so many girlfriends because of it. And then when I found them, I forgot which bags I put them in. Oh, kaboom. At least my dog could recognize the smell. Kaboom. How am I doing on time? I'm sorry. I've got plenty of jokes, but right?
You got 5 more minutes.
Oh, 5, okay. Sometimes I don't know which direction to go.
What about ointment?
What? They need some love? I'm sorry. They've heard most of my jokes. Oh no, I'll leave you. I'll stop staring.
What about ointment?
Can you believe it? I go to some shows, people go, you're not looking at it. Is it literally, this is what you want? Is this what you wanted? Nobody ever wants this. Here, let me go stare at everyone else.
Ariel said something.
Okay, Ariel, kick you this.
What about ointment?
Oh, you know, that's funny you should say that. Because I do have jokes about ointment. They're not that funny, but they are topical. Kaboom. I just don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. I've got jokes about electrons. They're not that funny, but they are current. Kaboom. No, I'm a phlebotomist by day. And so you do what you love, and the money will follow. No, I've got jokes about phlebotomy. You try to make it funny, but it seems like all the work is in vain. Kaboom. Hear what Now let's talk about cancer. I was an idiot. No, there's a history. Well, we're getting, you know what, maybe I should just talk about how I was I'm an EMT. No, you know, after you drive Uber for so long, sometimes you just want to strap your patients in. I know that they can't complain about anything. But sometimes I used to work at football games, and sometimes I used to just take people to dialysis. You know, one place you're worried if somebody has a broken foot. The other place you're happy that they have a foot at all. Kaboom. And I had one patient, he used to say he was black from the waist down. He wasn't bragging, just diabetic. Kaboom. See, I think that joke is funny. I just don't know if it's going to get a lot of circulation. Kaboom. All right. So it's time for me to wrap up. And what to wrap up with?
Toilet paper.
Besides duct tape. What to leave you with?
A leaf blower.
Thank you. How to send this up? Any requests?
Clowns.
Clowns. Okay. So, you know, besides doing this, you know, you have to figure out other ways to make connections. Got to be creative. I started dating a clown. It's not what you think. It's all makeup sex. Oh, kaboom. No, right? It's not your typical makeup sex. When you keep meeting her under the big top, you realize it's really intense. And you don't want to know about her other boyfriends, because those are some really big shoes to fill. Kaboom. You know, and a typical woman, you know, a typical LA, you know, I thought she was into me. Turns out her eyebrows were always like that. For a while I thought she was a goth chola. Kaboom. Now it's funny, you learn, it's a different way to learn about someone. You know, you lean into the plastic flower, that's how you find out if she's a squirter. Kaboom. You throw dessert on her. If she doesn't flinch, you know she doesn't have a gag reflex. But kaboom. I'm still not giving up. No, I just want to. But you know, sometimes if she came at you with her bicycle, then you know she was really horny. Kaboom.
Either we're drunk or you're
You're very kind. Anyway, I'm Richie the C. Thank you very much. Please forget you heard this.
Richie the C, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, that is the show tonight. Closing things up right at midnight, Dave. Right at midnight. Yeah.